Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang. Adrian is away. Tonight, after a big vaccine announcement, reasons for optimism and caution.
To just say we're out of the woods with this? Not yet.
What it means for you.
There clearly haven't been lessons learned from other provinces.
The COVID-19 reality in Manitoba gets more dire. An Indigenous woman detained, knocked unconscious, and dragged to a cell.
My first reaction was that force was excessive in the circumstances.
Why wasn't there an investigation? And the Kamala Harris effect.
It's one thing to say that it's possible, but when you see her, it's like now you know it.
The powerful message for women and girls of color. This is The National. Well, worldwide COVID-19 numbers are absolutely brutal. 50 million infected, 1.2 million dead. And it won't stop until most of us are immune. But on that front tonight, we start with good news, perhaps the most encouraging news yet. Pfizer says data from its vaccine trial suggests a whopping 90% efficacy. Now, these are initial results. They could change. But the hunt for a vaccine has always come down to two words: safe and effective. This candidate might be both. But if this vaccine does live up to its promise, and that's still a big if, there's still a long way to go. Christine Birak shows us what this announcement really means.
The vaccine is still experimental, but the drug maker insists this is big.
The greatest medical advance in the last 100 years, if you think about it.
In a press release, Pfizer and BioNTech announced their vaccine was more than 90% effective in preventing COVID-19 in participants who hadn't previously been infected with the virus. The trial, now in its final phase, involves more than 43,000 people. 42% are from diverse backgrounds. Researchers say participants received 2 doses of the vaccine and people were protected after 28 days.
We want to be able to act.
But experts say the study hasn't been peer-reviewed yet, and the safety data hasn't been released.
Were there any other unintended or unexpected adverse events that were seen in this study? Hopefully not, but again, we don't know that.
And there are other questions, including how well this vaccine blocks transmission of the virus between people. How long is it protective? Does it work better in some groups? It's possible, for example, that the vaccine better protected younger people instead of older adults.
So we just need to see the data. I think it's promising. But from there to just say we're out of the woods with this, not yet.
Pfizer says immunity could last for at least a year. Members of Canada's vaccine task force are optimistic.
There's never been a vaccine made from RNA. So this is opening up a whole new world of making vaccines if this result holds up.
Gene-based vaccines offer the body a set of genetic instructions to build a piece of the coronavirus, like those outer spikes. They can't make you sick, but they can show the immune system the enemy and give it an edge in fighting this virus.
I think we can expect that we will have a vaccine available for Canadians sometime in April to June.
It's just a guess, but if it works, the vaccine could be the beginning of the end for this pandemic. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, if this vaccine delivers as promised, the entire world could be clamoring for it. So how many Canadians would have access, and how soon? Salima Shivji shows us the plan.
We see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The good news, Canada has already secured 20 million doses of Pfizer's vaccine, thanks to a strategy Ottawa has been pursuing, not so quietly, for months.
When a vaccine is ready, Canada will be too.
The Government of Canada has entered into agreements with Pfizer and Moderna.
At least 88 million doses, with options to attain tens of millions more.
In all, Canada has snapped up more than 300 million doses from 7 different companies, all for different vaccines, trying to cover all its bases.
Indeed, Canada is one of the countries around the world with the very best portfolio of potential vaccines, because we know that there is a certain amount of uncertainty as to which vaccines will land.
Uncertainty, too, on how to distribute a vaccine when it's ready. Pfizer's vaccine requires 2 doses and needs to be kept very cold at -75 degrees. Cities like Toronto are already trying to find enough space to vaccinate the general public.
We are doing this work now so that we will be ready for what we know will be a massive effort.
Plans are already drafted for who would get vaccinated first, those most at risk, in long-term care homes, on the front lines, and in Indigenous communities.
Rollout is going to be the most difficult part of this vaccine. For us as a general population to get a vaccine in the arm, yes, we might be looking at 6 months to a year.
And the government is still pursuing its strategy of buying vaccine options. It's in the final stages of talks for more doses from Pfizer in the hopes of covering more Canadians. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now, this vaccine news triggers a sudden spike in markets. They've defied gravity for much of the pandemic, but today there was more going on than meets the eye. The TSX up nearly 1.2%. The S&P 500 about the same, but the NASDAQ, heavy with technology stocks, is actually down 1.5%. And that's an important clue. Jacqueline Hansen looks behind the numbers because this surge is a bet on something we haven't seen yet, a return to normal.
A political victory in the United States, followed by the news of a promising vaccine, were two signs investors around the world have been waiting for.
This was a very, very big day for markets and for humanity, as it turns out.
Pfizer's stock price jumped nearly 8%, and optimism its vaccine could unlock economies lifted up companies that have been battered by COVID. Cruise ship operators Royal Caribbean and Carnival soared nearly 30 and 40%. SeaWorld, Six Flags, and Disney gained more than 10%. And even Air Canada, on a day it reported a nearly $700 million loss for its latest quarter, surged nearly 30%. But the airline CEO said not just discovery, but global distribution of a vaccine will be key to the airline industry's recovery. And that won't be quick.
Given that air travel touches, so many continents at the same time, I think that, a word of caution has to be brought to bear before we get ahead of our skis here.
Still, some of the pandemic stay-at-home stars saw a sell-off, from Peloton and its home spin bikes to Zoom's video software. And as cases of COVID-19 keep climbing, investors still face a lot of uncertainty.
There is still potential for risk and resulting volatility, but right now we look to be on a good path for the long term.
High hopes today for a more normal future. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, there's still a lot to unpack here, so we have the doctors standing by. Are we getting our hopes up, or could this be the real deal? That's a little later. Now, that vaccine and the virus racing through the U.S. right now are top of mind for Joe Biden. Susan Ormiston now with the U.S. President-elect's message to Americans as he prepares to try to get the pandemic under control.
An old theater house is HQ for the new president-elect and his transition team. Get used to the motorcade. Joe Biden's priority his first week trying to take the politics out of the pandemic.
Good afternoon, everyone. It doesn't matter who you voted for. We are Americans and our country is under threat. The bottom line.
The vaccine is promising, he says, but many months away. As cases in the U.S. climbed above 10 million today, nearly 1,000 a day are dying. And unlike Trump, Biden warned the coming winter looks dark.
The projections still indicate we could lose 200,000 more lives in the coming months before a vaccine can be made widely available.
Biden is blunt. Wear a mask, everyone, no matter their politics.
I want to be very clear. The goal of mask wearing is not to make your life less comfortable. It's to take something away from you. It's to give something back to all of us, a normal life.
With Biden's win, if one word for many, relief.
I'm very relieved that somebody's in office that cares about the United States population.
And we have a daughter.
Ernest Savage just got in his car in North Carolina this morning and drove up here to Delaware.
Historical. I wanted to be a part of this history-making moment and this change because I believe sincerely that we are in for a great ride. It's not going to be easy.
Donald Trump's not going anywhere, he says.
That's what he says. But that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah! Biden's team has about 70 days to transition to a new government, regardless of the continuing resistance from the White House. Biden's new COVID advisory board is led in part by a former Surgeon General, Vivek Murthy, who was dismissed by Trump. Biden says he'll lean on the science, but he'll be challenged by some state governors reluctant to follow his lead. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Now, Canada's Prime Minister offered his congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris today.
I'm looking forward to working with them both on the common challenges and opportunities facing our countries and our world.
He later tweeted out this picture, saying he spoke with Biden today as well. And on the list of topics they discussed, climate change and, of course, COVID. Now, here at home, COVID-19 cases do keep climbing. In central Canada especially, numbers are still high. Ontario reporting 1,242 new infections. Quebec registering nearly 1,200. And in Western Canada, cases are ballooning in all 4 provinces. Saskatchewan saw a daily record 190 new cases, while Manitoba reported 365. Not a record, but a continuation of a troubling trend in its fight against the virus. Now, Manitoba, back in the spring, was actually doing pretty well, but now it's struggling to flatten its curve. And new criticisms after a deadly weekend have officials there considering additional restrictions. Cameron McIntosh has those details.
On standby, an ambulance sits ready outside Winnipeg's Maples long-term care home after a weekend that saw 8 residents die and paramedics called in several times to deal with dozens of COVID cases. Today, health officials said the privately run home was understaffed.
It's devastating. It's extremely concerning.
Elvin Kodonik is worried about 2 family members still inside.
I don't know if they're okay. We haven't been able to get a hold of anyone at the Maples for quite some time.
Winnipeg's mayor says the province failed in its oversight.
There clearly haven't been lessons learned from other provinces that, quite frankly, should have been.
As Winnipeg enters its second week of red-level restrictions, the provincial government is taking flack from several sides. 61-year-old Jean-Claude Dianzenza is the first healthcare worker to die contracting COVID at work. Doctors have been openly expressing concerns over safety and staffing. Meanwhile, teachers are complaining inadequate planning for socially distanced and remote learning is leading to burnout.
There's no available substitutes.
This is going to be a challenging time.
Today, the education minister announced funding to help develop and deliver more remote learning. But times may soon get worse.
In just 1 week, we've announced more than 2,000 cases.
The chief medical health officer says current restrictions aren't working. A short but full shutdown could be coming.
Nothing has been off the table.
A poll last week shows some support for that. As for how it's being handled,
we still have a fair bit of faith in the public health officials, a lot less faith and diminishing faith in our provincial leaders.
It's clear that the government's losing their grip on the current COVID situation, and something has to be done.
In a statement, Premier Brian Pallister said it's easy to criticize from afar while urging collaboration, something many say his own government is failing to provide. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Officials in BC have reported nearly 1,000 new cases since Saturday.
What we need to do now is to break those chains of transmission so that in the next week and 2 weeks, we will start seeing those numbers come down.
Metro Vancouver has been under sweeping restrictions since Saturday. Today, the Premier urged people to reduce their social interactions. If not, he says BC risks going back to the kind of severe restrictions seen in March. A group of more than 70 Alberta doctors has signed a letter to the province calling for a 2-week lockdown. They warn that without further restrictions, Alberta's acute care health system would soon be overrun. Officials reported 644 new cases today.
Effective immediately, if you are coming into our province from outside of the Atlantic bubble, you must quarantine for 14 days alone. If you are not able to isolate alone, then everyone in that household isolates together for 14 days.
And officials in Nova Scotia have tightened isolation rules following a cluster of cases in a suburb of Halifax. There are 16 known active cases in the province, all of which are travel-related or they're close contacts. Now, the pandemic has slowed life down in a lot of ways, sometimes for the better, but not when it comes to internet service. Today, the federal government said it's going to get rural and remote communities up to speed, but as Thomas Daigle tells us, some still have a long road ahead.
Getting connected in rural Canada can prove slow and bumpy.
only a 45-minute drive from Toronto, Marcia Hars sometimes has to set up her modem and laptop outside just to get to work.
Why should I have to pay anything more than my friends in the city? If they can get unlimited internet for under $100, why am I paying $180 for 100 gigs? And why does it still stink?
Her download rate is just a fraction of what the federal government deems broadband speed. Considered a basic service, but one unavailable to most rural Canadians. Just ask Brenda Adams, self-employed and living within Ottawa's city limits.
This is not an option, and I think COVID, if it has done nothing else, has really emphasized the discrepancies.
So the timing of the government's funding announcement is likely no coincidence. Long considered a priority, but now all the more pressing amid the pandemic.
We're not going to stop until we connect every single household to this essential service.
To the $1 billion already pledged last year, Ottawa is investing an extra $750 million. The goal? To give 98% of Canadians access to high-speed internet by 2026 and everyone else by 2030. Some of the money intended to get more communities connected in just the next year.
It was something that groups like ours had asked for, and it's going to no doubt go a long ways towards bringing relief quickly.
On many First Nations, however, getting affordable broadband could take much longer, with the hardest to reach areas left without access for a decade yet.
That's going to mean Indigenous communities, and that's going to mean rural and remote communities who now, through COVID-19, need this connectivity.
Like a long country road, for many, the wait drags on. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, a group of Mi'kmaq First Nations and BC food producer Premium Brands are buying Halifax-based Clearwater Seafoods. The deal was valued at about $1 billion, including debt, and is the largest investment in the seafood industry by a Canadian Indigenous group. The transaction is still subject to approval by Clearwater shareholders in January. Well, CBC News has obtained a video that viewers may find upsetting. It shows a young Indigenous woman punched and knocked unconscious at an RCMP detachment in Thompson, Manitoba. But it was not a police officer who hit her. It was a community safety officer employed by the city. Caroline Bargut shows us what happened.
There's no sound on the video, but Janesta Garson's lawyer says it speaks for itself. After detaining the 19-year-old on suspicion of public intoxication, 2 community safety officers and an RCMP officer told her to remove a layer of clothing. Then this. She threw her belt, was punched unconscious, had an officer strip off her pants, had her limp body rolled over, and then was dragged down a corridor to a cell, where she was pushed some more, then left alone. Garson's lawyer says his client wouldn't have been treated this way if she wasn't Indigenous.
Janesta is one person, out of which is undeniably hundreds of people that deal with abuses perpetuated on them by the RCMP in northern Manitoba.
Eventually, Garson was taken to hospital. Rohit Gupta says she faced assault charges, later dropped. Manitoba RCMP wouldn't comment on this case, but said officers are allowed to use force if they feel threatened and often face unpredictable situations.
Only the individual that's using force or is potentially being a threat knows what's going to happen. And the police officer was only reacting to the situation at hand.
Peace officers have a special provision under the criminal code.
This expert says the use of force has to be relative to the threat and says this case should be investigated.
My first reaction was that the degree of force seemed unnecessary.
Community safety officers don't fall under Manitoba's police watchdog. It's up to the RCMP to look into any allegations against them. In this case, they didn't.
Garson is now suing the community safety officers, the RCMP, and the City of Thompson for discrimination, excessive use of force, and unlawful imprisonment. The RCMP and the city have denied those allegations. Caroline Bargut, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Okay, next on The National. Inspired by a history-making win.
You can see yourself in her. I think that's the biggest takeaway for the kids.
Kamala Harris reaches new heights and sends a very powerful message to women and girls of color. The words of veterans this Remembrance Day, perhaps even more poignant in a pandemic.
And I'd also ask them that have hope.
And a school in Nunavut gets a celebrity surprise.
I got an email saying this is Ryan Reynolds, what our needs are in terms of winter gears.
We're back in 2.
When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment. But she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible.
U.S. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris paying tribute to her mom on Saturday night as Harris celebrated her history-making win, becoming the first Black woman and South Asian woman elected vice president. And while that story may be rooted in the United States, it is inspiring people all over the world, including here in Canada. Here's Alison Northcott.
It's something these students and teachers are especially proud of today, their link to U.S. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris when her mother, a cancer researcher, was studying at McGill University.
It's just like an inspiration for you to know, just keep working and you can get there.
I really needed the joy.
Teacher Sabrina Jafrali calls Harris's win barrier-breaking.
There's a part of me that's like, oh, now we have a vice president who's Black and Indian. It makes me wonder, like, maybe I should become the Minister of Education. Like, it's very, very inspiring.
For her and her students.
I want to tell them it's not a one-off. If anything, it's the beginning of something important.
But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
That still gives me goosebumps because I think it's a very strong message.
Liberal MP Kamal Kara says the political stage needs more role models and mentors for young women of color.
For me, someone that looks like me, her name ironically sounds like mine as well. Being at that leadership role at that in politics is very special.
A lot of women, a lot of Black women in particular, can speak to the struggle of knowing what it is to be talented, to be qualified, and to be overlooked.
Yolande James was the first Black woman elected to Quebec's National Assembly. She says Harris's win can't fix everything, but that it shows what's possible.
Just seeing her on that stage in that moment, it's one thing to say that it's possible, but when you see her, it's like now you know it.
Green Party leader Annamie Paul has also broken barriers in Canadian politics as the first Black permanent leader of a major federal party.
My mom's 84, and I don't think she ever believed that she would live to see this day where her daughter would be representing a national party in Canada and a Black woman would be the vice president of the United States. And one day we might meet and shake hands and talk public policy together.
While Harris will have to face big political challenges, back at her former high school today, there was optimism.
You can see yourself in her. I think that's the biggest takeaway for the kids.
And she hopes that helps them see they can make an impact too. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
Well, the game show Jeopardy opened today with a tribute to its longtime host, Alex Trebek.
He will forever be an inspiration for his constant desire to learn, his kindness, and for his love of his family. On behalf of everyone here at Jeopardy, thank you for everything, Alex.
Alex Trebek taped his final episodes less than 2 weeks ago. Jeopardy will air his final 35 episodes as they were shot. The legendary Canadian and TV host died over the weekend after a lengthy battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 80 years old. Okay, next, we're going to turn back to that promising news of a potential COVID vaccine. The company says it is 90% effective, but there's lots of fine print to talk about what it'll all mean in the real world and the complications to watch for. The doctors are in to help us make sense of it all. Welcome back. So by far, one of the biggest stories today, promising news from Pfizer that one of its COVID vaccine candidates appears to be very effective.
We have good reason to think that science is going to defeat this virus over the next few months.
So joining us to work through this, doctors Isaac Bogosh and Zane Chagla, two infectious diseases specialists. Hello to you both. Hey, we actually get to talk about good news. So that's a bit of a change of pace, which is nice. Dr. Bogosh, I want to start with you because this notion that this vaccine could be 90% effective. I mean, can you explain what does that actually mean and how did they arrive at that number?
Sure. So this is a clinical trial, and what they did was they prospectively enrolled over 43,000 people. So 43,000 people basically had a 50-50 chance. You either get the vaccine or you get a placebo. And they followed these people through time. Now, during the course of the study, 94 people had COVID-19. The study's not done. This is just an interim analysis of those first 94 events. And what they found is of those 94 cases of COVID, 90% of people did not get the vaccine. So said another way, the vaccine was pretty protective. If you got the vaccine, you had a far lower probability of getting COVID-19. The study's not done. They're still going to conduct the study. This is just an interim analysis, but the interim analysis looks pretty promising. Right.
And so, Dr. Chagla, I guess the follow-up is, how confident are we that we're comparing apples to apples in the sense that the trial of more than 40,000 people is reasonably representative of how the vaccine would work in real life?
So on the plus side, there was a variety of ages that are included up to the age of 85, which is really representative of the adult population. There are apparently a number of minorities that are included in the trial, but these are generally healthy people that were involved in the trial, devoid of comorbidities, cancer, transplant, the need for immunosuppressing medications, pregnant women. And so, as you roll out to the general population, you do have to be careful. That 90% number is really impressive in this clinical trial if it does stay going forward. But in the real life population, we may not get that number 100%. Does that mean that this vaccine's off the table? Absolutely not. But we do have to have expectations that there may be populations that won't react to it as great as seen in this trial.
Right. So even given what you've just said then, I mean, and Dr. Bogosh, I mean, I don't want this to sound like a reckless question, but why can't we then just get the vaccine out now based on the preliminary results, especially if you consider that, I mean, literally thousands of people die of COVID every single day. Like what side effect could possibly be deadlier than that?
So I think it's important for the study to continue and for independent government bodies. So for example, in Canada, it's Health Canada. In the United States, it's the FDA, to evaluate and pore over all this data, completely independent of any political interference. And they're going to look at all the data. They're going to look at the efficacy of the vaccine. They're going to look at the side effects, and they're either going to give it a thumbs up or the thumbs down. The thumbs up meaning, yep, it's okay. And if they do give it the thumbs up, it's likely that we'll start to see vaccine rollout shortly after, as we're preparing for. If they give it the thumbs down, then we're just going to have to wait until another vaccine rolls around, which, of course, we know there's several that aren't far behind.
Right. And yeah, so the rollout could happen very soon if everything sort of continues to go well with this. And Dr. Chagla, the plan for Canada is to get 20 million doses in the first 3 months of 2021. That's the deal that the government has set up with Pfizer. How does that actually play out on the ground in terms of like who gets it, where they get the vaccine? Is it like the flu shot, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I mean, the one major drawback to this vaccine is that it has a significant cold chain requirement. So in other language, it needs to be stored at -70. A commercial fridge or freezer stores at -20. And so you really have very specific needs for this vaccine in terms of how it's distributed. It may not be in a family doctor's office or a pharmacy. You may need a centralized place to store the vaccine and take it to people. In terms of a rollout strategy, though, NACI, our Federal Commission on Immunizations, has come up with a strategy that prioritizes, obviously, those at the highest risk, so the elderly and those with comorbidities, people that need to care for patients, or so healthcare workers, people in long-term care, and people in households of people that have these comorbidities, and then starting to roll it out gradually to the generalized population. If the vaccine data shows that the highest risk populations also have the highest or reasonable benefit here, I think that prioritization scheme works very well. And hopefully that's the target for the first 10 million doses.
And let me ask you, do you think we'll actually get that many doses in the first 3 months of 2021?
I mean, production is production. It takes time, but hopefully, again, even if it rolls out slowly, we can at least start focusing on that first group. So even anything is better than nothing.
Dr. Bogosh, one last question for you, and I want to ask this in just an anecdotal way. I mean, I've heard from people who, even people who believe in vaccine science, they're maybe hesitant about getting the very first vaccine that rolls off the assembly line, so to speak. Yeah. What would you say to that person?
Well, I think it's more of a strategy, and I think we should be having a very strong PR approach right now, basically informing Canadians in an age, language, and culturally appropriate manner that vaccines are rolling out soon, that we should be prepared for them, and really to focus on what the vaccine's going to do, what the potential side effects are, and what we can be prepared for in the months ahead.
Okay. Hey, Dr. Bogosh, Dr. Chagley, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
And there are lots more questions that we couldn't get to tonight, so be sure to check our Instagram page at CBC The National tomorrow, where our doctors are going to answer a few more questions for you. Also, we know there are lots of vaccines in the works, right? Worldwide. So we are tracking them all. Head on over to cbcnews.ca/vaccine tracker for more on that. And next, in the run-up to Remembrance Day, we bring you a story of dedication that dates back more than 70 years.
It was a form of duty in a sense, and out of respect. When I walk to the grave, the first thing I do is put my hand on the gravestone.
How this British man came to honor the memory of a Canadian airman killed in the Second World War. This is the scene in Ottawa tonight. The Canadian Legion's poppy drop leading up to Remembrance Day on the 11th. Those are 117,000 virtual poppies cascading down the Peace Tower, one for each of Canada's fallen since the beginning of the First World War. Now, the pandemic means this Remembrance Day will be different. Ceremonies are either being canceled or scaled back, but the day will still be marked in some very intimate ways. And as Bonnie Allen explains, to veterans and their families, that's important.
What are you giving thanks for today?
I'm able to get outside. That's what I'm giving thanks for.
Yes, thank you, God.
Jean Tweeton has come to terms with most pandemic restrictions, including the cancellation of many Remembrance Day ceremonies. But the 97-year-old British Royal Air Force veteran won't give this up.
Oh, dear friend.
A visit to the Veterans Memorial with her son Reg and daughter Janet to lay poppies on the graves of loved ones who served.
There you are, my darling.
Including her husband. She also thinks of those who never survived the war.
Oh, the ones that didn't come back. I think of them. Reg, where are you?
This is a military family going back generations, including Tweeton's father and uncles, her husband and his brothers, her sons, and Tweeton too. She worked as a radar operator tracking enemy planes off the south coast of England.
In a way, we were the first line of defense against the Germans coming in to raid. We not only plotted German planes coming in, we plotted our own planes going out and coming back in. Oh, gracious, yes, it was top secret. We couldn't even talk about it for years after.
We never really learned much about it until we were in our late teens. I was very surprised and very proud of her that because of her, several lives were saved.
That pride is echoed by so many Canadian families. Army veteran Gladys Kennedy turned 100 this year. Her family arranged an outside bagpipe ceremony to celebrate. She worked at a military hospital during the Second World War, keeping medical records for injured soldiers.
I was proud of the fact that I could serve my country in that way.
She volunteered for service, and she's been an active volunteer ever since, and I think that's amazing. She's a model Canadian, in my opinion.
Gladys Kennedy is saddened that large public Remembrance Day ceremonies like this won't happen this year. Not because she wants the attention, but rather she wants to remind others how people and countries came together to defeat evil.
It proved that we can do something about things that are unacceptable.
That sentiment is shared by the Tweeton family. Retired Major Reg Tweeton has been visiting classrooms for decades, teaching children to appreciate their rights and freedoms.
All the sailors, the soldiers, and the airmen gave away their tomorrows for our todays.
There won't be this kind of school ceremony in the midst of a pandemic, but if there was, Major Tweeton says he would tell children that winning the war took a collective effort and sacrifice, and that the same holds true in order to combat the pandemic.
And I'd also ask them that have hope.
Did you put a puppy on there?
Jean Tweeton hopes people will mark this Remembrance Day in their own creative way, and
wherever you are, you stand still and you are silent for 2 minutes. It's the longest 2 minutes in the whole year. You can stick it on better. There we go. Yes, and my dear friend, my dear, dear friend.
She wants the nation to unite in that moment of silence. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
Well, for decades, a British man has dedicated himself to honoring the memory of a fallen Canadian airman. How he started and why dates back to a long-forgotten program of the British Legion. And now, 70 years after they were first united, two families are rediscovering each other. Murray Brewster shows us.
It was January 1945. The air war over Europe had entered its last horrific weeks. Among the tens of thousands of Allied aircrew, Nova Scotia native Flight Sergeant Maurice Sterling. He was on his way home from a 500-plane raid over Nuremberg when his bomber collided with another Lancaster. There were no survivors. Maurice Sterling was buried here, among the Commonwealth war graves in Stonefall Cemetery at Harrogate in the north of the UK. He would, however, not be alone.
My grandmother used to say to run on and find the grave, which I did.
It has been 73 years since John Charlesworth started coming here. His grandmother adopted the grave under a long-forgotten program of the Royal British Legion and the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. He's never missed a Remembrance Day or Maurice Sterling's birthday.
It was a form of duty in a sense, and out of respect. When I walk to the grave, the first thing I do is put my hand on the gravestone. I suppose it's almost feeling as though I'm in contact with the person asleep.
I think John's story is possibly unique.
Elizabeth Smith of the War Graves Commission discovered the long-lost program.
It really is incredible that he has kept that promise that his grandmother made.
The Charlesworth and Sterling families remained in touch after the war, exchanging letters. And for a long time, John has wondered, was there anyone still around?
I guess I'm the one in the family, I'm the archivist of the family.
This is Flight Sergeant Sterling's niece, Donna Denham.
Yes, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
I never knew whether anybody realised that the grave was still visited, and that was important to me, to let you know, or a relative know, that he's not forgotten.
And now there's a special connection. Donna had many photos he's never seen before.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sterling.
And even a letter written by his grandmother to Donna's grandmother in the 1940s, assuring the Sterling family Maurice's memory and his grave would not be forgotten.
That was just like my grandmother talking. That was very moving, to be honest, to hear that letter.
I was very appreciative to be able to speak with him because my grandparents and my mother and Maurice's other sister were always so grateful that there was somebody there to remember their son and their brother. So I'm doubly grateful that he took over from his grandmother and is doing such a lovely job.
Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now, the CBC's coverage of Remembrance Day will be very different this year. Scaled down in size, but not in importance. Our live TV special begins Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern with Rosemary Barton hosting from the National War Memorial. You can also listen on CBC Radio 1 with Matt Galloway and Neil Cooksall. Well, still ahead in tonight's moment, Ryan Reynolds surprises a school in Nunavut. But first, how local bookstores are managing to turn the page and thrive during a pandemic.
I'm Jamie Poisson, and tomorrow on CBC's Daily News podcast Front Burner, why President-elect Joe Biden is facing an uphill battle on everything from the coronavirus response to uniting the country at large. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
The winner of the 2020 Scotiabank Giller Prize is Suvankam Tamavongsa. How to pronounce knife.
Well, there you go. Canada's richest literary prize has been awarded. You heard it. How to Pronounce Knife by Suvankam Tamavongsa has been deemed this year's best work of Canadian fiction. She'll be taking home a $100,000 reward as the winner of the 2020 Scotiabank Giller Prize. Now, that is a big award during the best of times, but even more so in a year where bookstores across the country have had to fight to stay afloat. But as Eli Glasner shows us, some of them have adjusted and are now thriving under pandemic conditions.
How you doing? What's up? This warm November day, Type Books has the doors open. But like many businesses, the lockdown forced them to adapt.
We were in our cars delivering our books to our customers.
So you're the owner, right?
I'm a co-owner.
You're the co-owner. You were out in your car
with my other co-owner, and people from the publishers also helped us out.
As the virus spread, bookstore business fell 24% between March and May.
Enjoy your books and wine.
So independent bookstores got creative. In Guelph, the bookshelf found a complementary pairing.
We had a liquor license. Doug Ford in Ontario said, hey, you can deliver it. So we had lots of people ordering a book and a bottle of wine.
The coronavirus also forced bookstores to go online in a bigger way. Brampton's Knowledge Bookstore used to get most customers as walk-ins. And after the Black Lives Matter protests, that changed dramatically.
My wife called and she's like, what's going on, right? We looked at the website because we've never had thousands of people from Canada in the website.
That's funny.
Michael Neal sells software to help bookstores go online. Last year, this time, the stores he worked with processed 17,000 orders. Now it's up to 116,000.
Many stores talked to us and said, you realize you saved our business. And I said, wow, that's quite a compliment.
One more sign the affection Canadians have for their local bookshop? Witness the wave of responses when I tweeted about alternatives to Amazon.
The shortlist is amazing.
Owners say one of the effects of COVID has been the rise of localism, embracing the neighborhood around you.
People are trying to find communities, and people are trying to learn, trying to make sense of the world, trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Happy Gillers! Hey, Rick!
Hey, happy Gillers!
And as the celebrations for this year's Giller Prize begin, whether online or in person, it appears the love of a good book hasn't been diminished by the pandemic. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
And next on The National, the gift of warmth before the cold. How this school received 300 free Canada Goose parkas. Next in our moment. Well, Arctic Bay is a small northern community in Nunavut, but many kids from the local elementary school didn't have warm winter coats. Well, that news traveled and caught the attention of this Canadian movie star. Ryan Reynolds decided to do something to help, and his gift of warmth this winter is our moment.
It's the north. It's pretty cold. I had kids among us who really didn't have enough. I got an email saying this is Ryan Reynolds.
When Ryan Reynolds reached out to us about what he was hearing about Arctic Bay, we acted quickly with him. An individual had reached out to him and shared a story that the school, Arctic Bay, they weren't well equipped for the winter. I would say about a week, we mobilized around this and just over 300 parkas, pants, gloves, hats, and of course boots. Ryan made a very generous contribution to help out with that too.
They were over the moon about it. When they went down and saw the stock of stuff, they looked at the quality that they were getting, Even the staff themselves were stunned. They were like, "Thank you, Greg." I'm like, "Yes, it's thank you, Ryan. Thank you."
So quite the generosity there. Apparently, a tweet sort of eventually kind of made its way. Someone soliciting for just, nothing extravagant, just a few items of winter clothes. Ryan Reynolds eventually saw it, picked it up, decided to do what he did. And good thing, in Arctic Bay, it gets awfully cold during the winter. Apparently in February last winter, they hit almost minus 40. That's the National for this November 9th. Have a good night.